Good evening, I'm Danny McCue of Anton Community Newspapers, and this is Insight Nassau. On this evening's program, we're going to be talking about the arts on Long Island, the arts in Nassau County, and I can't think of anybody better to talk about that subject with, but Teddy Bookman, the Executive Director of the Friends of the Arts. Teddy, how are you?
I'm doing fine.
Now, I should say that you're not only are you one of the most important, I think, most important arts people in Nassau County, you're also one of the most energetic. Recently, you know, I attended the Taste of New Orleans concert, and it was hard to pin you down. You were all over the place. Now,
that's me.
Now, have you been with the Friends of the Arts since the beginning?
Yes.
And it's 25 years now. Banner year for you guys.
It certainly is, and I'm still as wound up as ever.
Now tell me, how did this all get started 25 years ago?
Oh, that's quite a story, and worth repeating. There were, you know, our school was the Locust Valley School District, and the head of the music department sent a letter to parents and saying, please help me promote culture in the area, make it work for your children. And quite a few of us were interested in seeing that our children had more than we had growing up. I was born in Seacliff, and there wasn't much cultural enrichment at that time. So we responded to his request and sat down at a meeting, and little did we know what his idea of promoting cultural enrichment was buying new band uniforms. But it got a few of us together, and from that became the start of Friends of the Arts. We wanted to make sure that we could bring programs out here for children primarily, but then for the adults too. That why shouldn't Long Island have the best of the arts brought to it, as opposed to always being a bedroom community of the city?
Now, inevitably, when things are kind of tied to people's kids, people's schools, you know, it's a four-year proposition. So someone might have a child that's a freshman in high school. When they graduate, the parents drift away. You know, you see that a lot in high school athletics and whatnot. But Friends of the Arts, it's 25 years. How did the generations keep going? Why didn't it just end after a few years?
Well, I think there was enough enthusiasm, energy, purpose of mission to make it stay. Besides, we were not by that time only doing programs for children, but we were starting to do programs for adults, bringing the major artists and orchestras to Long Island, creating unusual programs, and finding out that people were not coming just from the local area anymore. You know, we began using Cole Hall at Planting Fields, which was underused at that time, and the state was very happy to have an organization like Friends of the Arts do chamber music. And it was really at that time we realized people were coming from all over the island, and it started to grow. It gave us the impetus to seek more avenues for performance and seek more audiences. And there was a hunger for culture on the island. From there, we did programs with what was then the Island Concert Hall that unfortunately didn't last too much longer. But so we had our start with Mr. Bernstein of Island Concert Hall and putting on programs at Post, at CW Post, under the old dome.
Right.
And then we went on our own to do contemporary dance at Adams Playhouse. So it was a constant evolution, and always reaching for a little bit more.
Now, were you sort of beyond the high school, beyond the bringing culture to the students right away? Or was there a period where you were like legitimately like a parents group in the school?
That lasted for about a year, but continued. It was still that parents group, and then we got other parents, you know, to enter and help us with the children's became a committee all unto itself.
Right.
That was a part of the umbrella that was becoming Friends of the Arts. We had our children's committee, really worked so hard in making sure that things were promoted, getting things into the school, getting the word out, doing visits to places to test the programs before we bought into them. And then we did a choral group. So there were right away other activities happening.
Right. Now, had this group of parents that came, how many parents, do you recall how many people it was?
I would say there probably were about 12. Some moved away, but you know, the nucleus is still here.
It's still
and
here.
In fact, I have been trying to do a reunion. Because wouldn't that be fun after 25 years? Not only to thank them, but because they were very much a part of everything that happened.